Hey Dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer-songwriter, musician, big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be Until It Sleeps? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So Ted, give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Until It Sleeps, track number 4 from the Load album. And I have to say, I'm excited because this middle chunk of the album is finally where the meat is. That first half kind of had a little bit of a slump, kind of pulled us down a little bit, but now the best of the best comes out. So I'm excited for the next few songs. This song, no different. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to blah, blah, blah my way through it. Maybe give you some insight you may not have realized before. Maybe you'll give me some insight in the comments below. And then I'm going to grade it using the following categories: lyrics, instrumentation, composition, memorability, and emotional response. Each category is a 0 to 4 scale with a grand total possible of 20 points. We'll find out at the end if Until It Sleeps has enough to get to the top 10. It's going to need at least 18 because it's a high bar. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you know what? Let's just get right into it, yeah? Let's get into it. First off, I was going to come into this with all this praise for Lars finally doing something technical. We've talked a little bit about how he's not really the most technical drummer. Almost every fill he does is right, left, right? There's a lot of rudiments out there, like a simple paradiddle, where you might go right, left, left, left. But he doesn't do anything close to that. He only did the side stick for a part of a riff in Nothing Else Matters. And then I thought that this intro was him finally doing a single stick roll. For those of you who don't understand what a single stick roll is, I have one stick, I have one drum. If I hold the stick and I hit the drum, nothing. But if I loosen my grip on the stick, I can let it bounce. So you could go boom, boom, pa, boom, boom, pa, boom, boom, pa, boom, boom. You hear that? And I thought for sure that's what he was doing. It turns out every single video I can find of him playing this song, the camera either conveniently cuts away right before that part, or you can just slightly see that he's using both sticks and he's just playing straight right, left. Classic Lars. It is a triplet fill though, which is kind of interesting, and it's a lot lighter than when he's typically playing the drums. He has a tendency to hit really hard, ba 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 ba. So it's nice to hear him pull back. I think this is the first time, even on some of their more clean songs, like you go to Nothing Else Matters, and he's just wailing on the drums. You go back to, To Live Is to Die. You go to the interlude of Master of Puppets. He's just wailing on him. This is his first time where he's kind of playing lighter. Boom boom ka. Boom, boom, ka, boom, boom, and it's a triplet fill. One triplet, two triplet. Okay, right, left, right, left. All right, so the pattern maybe leads with the left every right, left. All right, there's kind of a left lead, but it's a triplet fill and it ends on the left. So really, ultimately, it's still just right, left. It's nothing spectacular. Drummers out there who are playing single stick rolls on this song, that's not the case. If you just did a single stick roll, you hear the attack of the stick on the first hit, pa, and then it kind of peters out, pa. All right, and so when you do it double sticking style, it's even. It's the same level, and that's what you get here. So he's playing on the ride cymbal, and then he's switching. I wish it was some more technical stuff, but alas, the man doesn't really study his drum rudiments, I guess.
Where do I take this pain of mine? I run, but it stays right by my side.
I do love that this song just starts with drums and bass, and it's a different. He's using some sort of pedal. I've never been an effects guy, so I can't sit here and analyze what his line of, pedals looks like. But I know that it's not just straight a regular bass plugged into an amp, right? There's something else. It almost sounds like a fretless bass to me. It sounds like it could be even leaning to, it's not a cello, it's not an upright bass, but it sounds like a fretless bass to me. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Is it fretless? Because it sounds like when he's sliding, it doesn't sound like there's like those metal frets, do 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 do. There's no like climb to the way that he slides. It feels smooth, and so that's what leads me to believe it might be a fretless bass. And I don't know what other effects are on there, some sort of chorus or something, but it's a really interesting sound, different from anything else they've played. And those of you who are saying, "Oh, they sold out on the Load album," right? I want you to remember that Cliff Burton was like a music genius, and that his effects were way out there, and that this song probably would have come sooner had Cliff survived the crash. So those of you who are angry at Metallica for changing their sound, I want you to remember that they had a guy in the band that probably would have changed them sooner. I'm just saying, this is on brand for them. They're trying something new. Love this. I appreciate the two guitars there, that one of them is just kind of doing the chords. They're playing the chords like that, and then the other guitar is playing what is essentially the main riff. Do 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 do. I may or may not have stolen that for one of my songs that's going to be released on the next record. But now it's clean. We switch from the distorted version of the riff to the clean version. The clean version is more picky, more arpeggiated, do 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 do, single notes, whereas the full version is ba 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 ba. It's more of a chord. There's that sort of like almost Hawaiian sort of. It's definitely some sort of. I think it's a chorus effect. It's got sort of that choruses usually do. Not to be confused with the chorus of a song structure. A chorus on a guitar amp is something that's kind of it's a sweeping sound. It kind of makes the sound like it like detunes it, and like it changes the pitch a little bit maybe. And you can change how fast it goes. And it just kind of sweeps. I don't know how to best explain whether it's like a frequency shift or if it's a note shift, but either way, there's a shift and you control it. And that's where you get that sort of, you put it on a clean guitar and you get that sort of Hawaiian feel almost.
Just like the string. You beat it once and now it stays.
His voice is so good. Okay. So this time, I don't know if you heard it. I don't know if it was that way the first time. This is, if you would call this like the pre-verse or pre-chorus, or if you would just call this a separate half of the verse. I don't know. But there's that beep, 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 beep. But then this time he had like a little solo in there. Beep, beep, he played a little lick in there. I don't remember it exactly, but it's a little bit different. It kind of follows the vocals a little bit. Very nice, very nice. I want you to count with me on the next section of the song. I'm gonna show you the time signature change. We're in 4 so far. I also want to point out that Lars is going to just a 4E and right? Before it was like a 4 triplet and triplet. It's a really fast brrr, the intro riff, boom, boom, brrr. Now he's just going ba 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 ba. All right, so it's kind of alluding to that beginning part, but it's slower and more staccato. Ba 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 ba. And it's really cool to me when you take a fill, when you break it down, you bring it back later, but you change it just slightly. That's what I really love in composition, and so he's doing that here. This section of the song is heavier, it's thicker. We don't have enough room in the mix for, so we make it da 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 da, and it sticks out a lot more. Clever writing there. I love the echoes. Until it's until. We got sort of like a round going, right? I'll sing the first line, you sing the next line. I'll come back. Very beautiful. I love it. I love it.
So tell me why you've chosen me.
God, his voice is good.
Don't want your grip, don't want your greed. Don't want it until we open. Gone. No more can do what you want. And the fear still shakes me. So hold me until
That's a long fill.
grips you. So hold me. It stains you. So hold me. It breaks you. So
There's the fill. There's the Lars fill. Ba, ba, ba-rum. Little wah guitar. I love this build. Here we go. Okay, so we're changing, we're building up towards a big solo, but it's not actually going to the solo. I believe we're just going to another verse, which is cool. This is you can already feel on this record Kirk leaning towards less solos, right? There's not been a lot of really big guitar solos. They've been really pulled back. He's just kind of, it's very simple, very easy, very like just. I'm going to hold back a little bit, let the other instruments play, let the song breathe a little bit. We don't have to fill every beat of every measure and every subdivision of every of every subdivision. We don't have to fill every subdivision of every measure with sound. We can let things just hold out, let it ring. And I think that that's really cool. You know that he's kind of coming down a little bit. We're going to head into Reload. We're going to get the Mission Impossible soundtrack song, I Disappear, and then Saint Anger. So we're kind of coming back off of solos. So that's interesting to hear that actively, to hear him actively pulling back. But we also hear the experimentation with different settings, different pedals, different sounds. It's not just distortion on, distortion off. They have these choruses and flangers and talk boxes, which I mistakenly called vocoders in the last video. We have he's always kind of used wah pedals, but you know what I mean. They're experimenting. That's artistic growth. You come down on this record because you think it doesn't sound like their previous records, but that's the point. They're trying something new, and it's actually pretty great. If you can get your head outside of the metal world and listen to some classical symphonies, maybe some pop, maybe some regular alternative rock, maybe some hip hop. You combine all the genres around and you understand what makes music interesting. This song is taking those interesting things and putting them all together. We got interesting sounds, interesting composition, a really great singer, and I'm liking this song a lot. Steady building. I also wanted to call out the drums. We're no longer doing a. He's playing on the toms a lot. I don't know the official beat, but he's playing around, and by not hitting the snare, by refusing to go to the snare, I mean, he does hit the snare occasionally, but by keeping this beat as like toms, kick, and ride cymbal, it's like it's light, but it's alluding to potential heavy, and that's a really cool way to illustrate it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I'm just saying, it's fun. Listen to this build. I like how those vocals just carry, and they just echo out. But I feel like I could hear them cut off. I can hear like the stop where they end. Could you hear that? Let's find out again. Maybe not. It's fairly soft. It's not that bad. Yeah, okay. Those kinds of fills. I know he's done things like this before, but when you're doing those straight 16th notes, right? It has a certain feel to the fill where you're kind of going snare, high tom, middle tom, low tom. It kind of has like an up to down, right? Right? But then there's also the pattern of the playing, and then to end it with a pa boom, pa boom. That's a really great way to come back into a chorus. It just like, as your head is banging, you sort of stop when there's a fill because you're just kind of bobbing at this speed, and then the bop boop, and it's kind of like a here we go, boom, and it's kind of getting you ready to bang your head even harder. Did you hear what I just heard? I know we're in the holiday season. Did you hear what I hear? Or rather, did you not hear what I also didn't hear? That whole last section was missing crash cymbals. He was typically, all the way through the song, whenever we had a part like this, it's kind of like a chorus, it's kind of a pre-chorus. I don't know what you want to call this part of the song. He typically hits the crash cymbal on the downbeat, and that wasn't here. Let me play it one more time. Crash. No crash. No crash. No crash. Ooh, he's going straight. Back to the ride. Okay, that was interesting because we came out of that main riff and he was going back to, or we came out of that riff with a right, and then we went back to what we thought was the main riff, but instead of being on the ride cymbal, he was on the hi-hat, and instead of doing the triplet version of the fill, he was doing the straight version. Even though we're at the kind of cool down section of the song, and he only did that 2 times before going back to the ride. I find that really interesting. I don't know why I find it so interesting, but listen. There was a really cool high, I'm going to go back one more time. You can hear a high James Hetfield harmony going, until it sleeps. So he's saying until it sleeps, and there was a higher layer just really low in the mix, until it sleeps. Let's see if you can hear it. Hear that? Cool down, cool down. Oh yeah. Now there's a way to end a song too, because they didn't full band end it. It was bass, drums, and one clean guitar. That wasn't even two guitars. Dun, dun, dun. Very soft ending. You don't get that a whole lot. A lot of times you have the trash can or the sudden bum bum bum, and then it's over. We had the slowdown in the last song, so I guess you're slowing down two songs in a row, whatever. But this song is so different the way that it approaches the entire song, really, because we got that slow, clean riff, and then we got the heavy chorus riff. And again, chorus or verse, you can argue in the comments below. I don't care what the structure is called. All I care is that this was a pretty fun song. So let's give it some points. Lyrics. What is this song about? I think this is one of the, rare cases? Maybe it's not rare, but this one's pretty forward. There's no real coded message in here. I think it could be about a lot of different things, but at the core, the message is that there are things inside that are bottled up, worrying me deep within, and I've got this mask on over me that everything is all good, it's all hunky-dory over here, but then if you open me up, there's stuff inside that just wants to scream and shout. It might want to hurt you, it might make you dirty, might make me dirty, you gotta wash me to make me clean. There's a lot of really interesting imagery going on, but I think that the problem of the song, I know that this record is really covering on a lot of addiction. There's a lot of James wrapping his head around what's happening in his life and how it's affecting him and pouring that into the lyrics. So it's probably addiction based. However, this is a real, I want to say it's a universal song because there's so many people that can identify with these lyrics. This could be applied to any problem you have in your life if it's about internal struggle. It's very similar to of Wolf and Man, the beast inside, right? The rage that's built up. Anytime you're holding something inside and it's ready to blow, it's a bad situation. So what I would recommend to you, if you're feeling that way, or before you feel that way, rather, be open, honest about everything. If you've ever seen any movie out there ever, the core conflict in a lot of movies and stories and books and whatever is that somebody lied and they're covering it up. So don't lie, right? Just speak your piece, right? People might not like what you have to say, and what you have to say might be offensive to them. And so I want you to be open to change and growth. And if somebody calls you out on something, maybe listen for a little bit. Just listen. Hear what they have to say. Maybe it's not your turn to hear it. Maybe you have to do some more things before you're ready to learn. But we all have something to learn. So put those ears on. You got two ears and one mouth. Turn them up. But then also don't keep anything inside, right? Don't hide it at all. If you're open and honest with yourself, then what do you got to lose by just letting it all out there? I don't know. I know that I'm speaking from a place of extreme privilege. I'm a white man in America, so I can say that freely. I know that there's things that other people can't say because of who they are, and I think that's really unfortunate. So to the other straight white cis men of the world out there, it's your job to help lift those other voices up. They can't speak freely because of the oppression we've put on them. So it's your job to open up the floor, allow them to speak, and it may be different than what you believe, but it's your turn to listen because we've got eons of oppressing people to make up for. So let's band together as friends, as co-worldlings, and lift up some voices and make sure that this, whatever it is, can sleep. All right. Anyway, the lyrics are fine. I love them. I think they're great. This one gets a big old 4. Instrumentation. I really love what's going on here. I love the bass line. I love that Lars is finally holding back just a little bit on the drums. He's playing a little softer during those verses. I love the clean guitar stuff that really... there's some interesting things going on here. They are much more technically proficient than they're letting out in this song, but I always appreciate when they hold back. I don't think that there's anything really extremely amazing, but it's definitely not a negative. So instrumentally on this song, I'm going to give them a nice 3. Composition. Now they've got a time signature change that always makes me happy. We got a 6/4 riff there, and I don't know if you want to call it the chorus or if it's just a bridge that repeats a couple times. But but I like that. I like when they change things up. We have an interesting structure to this song. It does kind of feel like it's going verse, verse, chorus, solo, but then it comes back to a verse. I don't know. The structure is interesting because there's the clean part of the verse and then there's the heavy part of the verse. And you could call that heavy part the chorus because it does end with the hook until it sleeps, but it's different every time it comes around. Every lyrical return has some different change in the words. So it's not an official chorus. And then, so wash me, so hold me, it pains me, so hold me, whatever the words are there. I can't think of them anymore, even though I just read them. The something, something, so hold me, something, something, so hold me. That section, is that the chorus? Because it repeats the second time it comes around, but it only comes around twice. It ends with until it sleeps. I don't know, because I'm confused about the composition of this, of what's a chorus and what's a verse, because I don't know that, I'm excited by that. It's a change up. It's different. It's fresh. Then we have this clean part, this heavy part, a 6/4 part. We've got this nice little bridge that comes down. We think we're getting a solo, but no, we go back to another verse or whatever you call the section. And then it's got this nice shh ending. Really sweet, really different, really unique from all of their catalog. This one is really standing out so far. So compositionally, gotta give them a 4. Memorability. This one also seems to really stand out for me. We've got a lot of great call and responses. Something, something, so hold me. Something, something, so hold me. So hold me. It's only 3 words. What did I do there? I can't control my hands. Anyway, it's only 3 words. And then you've got until it sleeps. That's also 3 words. So there's a lot of really, they reinforce until it sleeps over and over throughout the song so you can remember the hook very well. But then that bass line, and even the drum fill, that stands out. And even the guitar riff, dun, 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 and then the vocals are singing the same thing as the guitar. There's so much here to remember. I can't give it anything lower than a big fat 4. Emotional response. I gotta say, I'm happy about this song. I wish they'd play it live more often. I don't think they've played it since 2008. I think I just looked at the stats, but I've already forgotten because I'm winging this. This is what I do. I just wing it. I'm speaking about my opinion of the song. I know that there's plenty more to read about the song and there's probably other details that I'm missing. But as far as my opinion is concerned, I'm having a good time. I would love to hear it more. Am I like dying to hear it? Is it like a necessary, like would I be upset if I went to a concert and they didn't play it? Maybe not so much, but would I be happy to hear it if they did play it? Absolutely. I would feel like it was gifted to me. Oh, thank you for this wonderful gift. I shall, until it sleeps. Oh, yes, thank you. Merry Christmas to me. So I don't know. I think it's great, but I think that there are better, more exciting songs. So positive score, but not the best. Emotional response. I can't speak today. Emotional response. It's a 3. And so, Until It Sleeps gets 18 points. You know it's enough. Let's take a look at that top 10. Oh, we have a new one. 18 points puts it in 7th place. You'll note, if you're new to this channel, that there are several songs with the score of 18. So what I do when we get to this point is, if it has the same score, I first look at the composition score. And the highest composition score gets the first rank. The highest memorability gets second. Highest emotional response gets third, and the highest instrumentation, and then lyrics. So that's how it ranks. It's just not good enough to beat Enter Sandman, but it's just good enough to beat Blackened, which was really surprising to me. But the math saith so. I can't argue with the math, and I'm surprised that the only tie we have so far in 50 songs is the Puppets and Wolf. Puppets and Wolf are the only 2 that have combined with the same exact score. That blows my mind that we've gone this far. That's what the official number. 51 videos. 1 tie. What? We're getting close though, because there's a lot of great songs to come. So now it's your turn. Put in the comments below, using my method, what score would you give this song? Make sure you check out my own music, Midnight Notion. Available on iTunes, Spotify, CD Baby, Bandcamp, wherever you get your music online. And of course, smash that subscribe button because we're coming back tomorrow with King Nothing. And we'll find out if it has enough to break some ties over here as well. Tune in then. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching.